now your main event. Introducing the hosts of Wrestling with Freddie, Jeff Dye, and Freddie Prinze Jr.
All right, you guys, it's true. I'm wearing evil manager's sunglasses. And you might be going like, why? That's kind of stupid. Well, there's a crazy glare. It's kind of going away. I could probably take them off in like about 10 more minutes. There's a crazy glare that shoots in, and it's almost like one of those Earth ships. You know, have you ever heard of those kind of houses where they like build them in New Mexico and there's no electric, no gas, no heat, no nothing? Like you just get everything from the Earth and they actually work. I don't know if they actually work. They say they actually work and people live in them. I think they might have like electric solar heaters in there or something else is going on. But anyway, this is like that. It faces the sun, and I have like these ceiling to floor windows up here where we record. And so the sun comes in and it heats this bad boy up. And if I don't open it up and get fresh air in here, I will cook like a microwave. So I'm wearing Don Callis' sunglasses. He was nice enough to loan them to me. Sometimes you just DM a wrestler or a manager. You're like, yo, can I borrow some of your stuff? And they're like, yeah, I'll send it your way. And that's pretty much what happened. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff's on assignment, or he's on an airplane coming back from New York City, I think. So we'll see him next week. So you got me today. You got me tomorrow, or whenever you guys listen. You get me 2 days in a row. And I hope everyone is well and healthy and happy. Let's just get into wrestling. Okay. Monday Night Raw. Raw was about one thing, ladies and gentlemen. It was about Adam Pearce getting even with Seth Rollins. Because Seth pulled a shady move with a fake injury, and then he cashed in on CM Punk, who only got to hold the title for mere moments before it was taken from him with a stomp to the head. So we got a fatal four-way in Paris. You like that accent. We're going to get into the storylines right now. So first off, CM Punk and LA Knight don't have a problem with each other, but they do have a problem with each other, but they don't want to have a problem with each other, but they're willing to have a problem with each other. If one guy wants to have a problem with the other guy, then there's a problem. That's sort of the catch-up. So Punk and Knight had a match. They had a match against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. And Bronson Reed is humongous, and Braun Breaker did some sweet Steiner math. It was awesome. Just type in Braun Breaker Steiner math. It'll come up. He does it better than I can impersonate it. But Punk and Knight, even though they're not likely to tag team partners, even though they're not likely to be friends anytime soon, they were good tag team partners. And they had the match well in hand until Seth Rollins blitzed them. We get a DQ. We get chaos. Jay Uso comes in with a steel chair. That's kind of his go-to now. It's like, yo, here's a steel chair, and I'm going to save everybody's ass because I'm the nicest guy on the roster. And then, bang, Adam Pearce comes out. And he sanctions a fatal four-way. The champion, Seth Rollins, versus CM Punk, the former champion, versus LA Knight, the could-be, would-be champion, versus Jay Uso, another former champion, all at the Clash in Paris. A fatal four-way. This is awesome. Fatal four-ways rule. I don't know why I like fatal four-ways, but I'm not that into tag matches. It's the same amount of dudes. And the tags are dramatic. I don't know why. I'm dumb and can't follow them. But anyway, I love fatal four-ways. I love triple threats. You can tell multiple stories in here. And look at the dudes that they have in this main event. I'm assuming this will be the main event. The champ and CM Punk, who hate each other. Their characters can't stand one another. All they do is screw the other one over and laugh at the other's misfortune. Seth Rollins is clearly in charge. We'll get into picks, but you guys know who I'm picking. He's just dresses so cool now. He doesn't wear the vest like LA Knight, but LA Knight's got the arms that work for the vest. That's why you're never going to see your boy in a vest, because my arms next to LA Knight's arms look like someone else's ankles. Anyway, I can't wait for this match. I know when we do picks, Jeff's going to pick LA Knight because that's his guy. I thought LA Knight and CM Punk had a weird chemistry in the ring when they cut their promo before they got interrupted. It was like you didn't think it was going to be good because they both were kind of like feeling each other out. But it was really, really good. It was like when an improv exercise where it starts off and everyone's like, oh man, is this going to suck? I don't know if these two know what they're doing. And all of a sudden one of them says something super funny and the other one just gets it because it's their sense of humor. And then they're off and running. Now, if you haven't done an improv class, you're like, yo, what? I can take these off now. You're like, yo, what the heck is he talking about? But if you have, or if you've ever seen the show Barry, or any other like meta Hollywood show, then you know what I'm talking about. I really like their promo. I hope they get to do something again with each other somewhere down the road. I don't know. I don't see how organically you would have any plans for that. I mean, they'll figure out a way. They're good at writing. But yeah, I really liked what they did. Anyway, they had this match. And here's what's weird. Like, of all 4 people, everyone knows only 2 dudes can win. And we'll still watch this match. Like, everyone knows Jay Uso's not in there to win that match. And everyone knows that when it's going to be LA Knight's time, there's going to be a storyline behind it because he can carry a storyline with his acting, right? And this just was kind of like rushed and fast. So he's not going to win it. So it's either going to be CM Punk wins it back, which I don't think is likely. I guess I'm giving you my pick now. Yes, I'm picking against him again. Every time I promise I'm not going to. But I don't care, damn it. Seth Rollins will win. He's established this faction and needs to stand strong for a little while. Hasn't been a little while yet. So I think Seth will win that. All the attack is to like weaken your opponents, right? We're going to beat them down, stomp them out, hopefully give him a concussion so that he's weaker when I meet him in the Fatal 4-Way because I don't even have to get pinned to lose my match. So now we have to rebalance the scale. So that's why he's got these heavy hitters with him. And Jey Uso, again, he's just there to help out, right? Because that's his guy and is returning the favor eternally for Punk. And he likes LA Knight, I guess. He likes him. But he came out there to help out. But I don't see, there's no story. So it wouldn't even be a cool, shocking victory if Jay won because there was nothing behind it. So I think that's kind of how I think the match is going to go down and who's going to win. And the reasons why. What do we got next? I'm so mad at our producer because he said some mean things about one of my favorite wrestlers, the ultimate babyface, Dominic Mysterio. And El Grande Americano, one of the greatest luchadors ever. They defeated AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. And right in a parenthetical, or in parentheses, my producer writes, loaded mask finish. It just right away saying it's a cheap finish. First of all, it's a protective plate. It's to protect both wrestlers. It's there to protect, not to harm, not to hurt. You don't know what he put in there. You're just assuming it's a piece of steel, could be padding. But you don't think about that, do you, Alex? Do you, producer Alex? Anyway, he continues to write, Dominic goes full super villain. What? We're talking Dominic Mysterio. First of all, if he did anything bad, he was manipulated into, someone told him or tricked him into doing it. This is a handsome man. This is a man with a good, pure heart who's in a dirty business, the wrestling business. And he's been twisted and turned and squished and squeezed. And he's still come out on top with gold around his waist. But every week I have to come on here and defend this man's good name, all the things he went through. Coming up in the wrestling business. Come on, that's a tough business. That's like coming up in Hollywood. You guys feel sorry for me, right? So Dominic deserves a little bit more love in the notes section of this podcast, and I'm going to leave it at that. Anyway, Dominic got the win. This story continued over into their acquisition of AAA, which is actually really cool because AJ Styles is like, oh, you're going to headbutt me with a piece of steel in your mask? I'm going to F you over against Vikingo and make sure he retains and you don't get to have his title. So now they can bring that storyline onto Raw. And I think what they're trying to do, obviously what they're trying to do is capture more of the Latino audience. Because there's a ton of analytics out there that let people know that Latinos in this country are a great number and they spend billions. They spend billions of dollars. And they were spending that back in the day. So I don't know how many billions it is now, but they spend a lot of money. And so they want to market to this audience. You'll see a lot of Spanish commercials, I think, in the next 10 minutes, even on like English broadcasts. If they do commercials, some of the streaming services do now, which is just like regular TV. So why do we have streaming services? That doesn't make sense to me, but whatever, party on. It's going to end up costing more than just to have regular freaking cable TV. I don't get it. Anyway, so they get to continue their storyline. WWE does a good job with this. And we'll get into AEW storytelling too. And Tony Khan had a response to some people criticizing, and we'll get into that. We'll get into that too. Because he's right, but he's not right about the thing people are critiquing him on. So we'll get into that one. Sami Zayn, Sami Zayn, the star of This Week in Wrestling. He got to be on both shows. Everybody got to fall in love with him, so he was this week's leading man of wrestling. He's about to close it out on Rusev, and if he did, then he gets to be on the path for a world title shot. That's what Sammy wants. He wants a shot at the world title. That's his dream. That's what he's always wanted. I've always said I believe he's going to win it one day. If Daniel Bryan could win it when the people got behind him, Sami Zayn can sure as hell win it too. The match gets interrupted by the MFTs, and it's a DQ, so he doesn't get the victory, and he doesn't get to be on that path. But it does protect him and make him look good. Nobody had to lose the match. Sheamus got in there just so we could see some meat on meat. WWE doesn't do the meat chant, except maybe once, I think. AEW is like begging for a meat match. So after that, Sheamus came out, got some, I almost said something that I shouldn't have. Got some meat beaten. What? And then the segment was over. We get into Becky Lynch and Maxine Dupree. Becky Lynch faked out like she was going to challenge Natty last week, and she was like, nope, psych. I want Maxine, the tall, skinny one. She beat up Maxine, clean finish. She looked good as the champ. Becky, it's hard to rate wrestlers when they're wrestling because they're constantly evolving, so it's a fluid number. It's like when everyone would put those ducks in the river and you see which duck wins, like you don't know which one's going to win. It's just because the river's constantly flowing and there's rocks and sticks in the way, and sometimes one wrestler gets a clear path and one runs into a rock and flips over. And that's your number, and you get bummed because you thought you were going to win because you're 8 years old. That's what it is to like compare them. But Becky is top last, right? The top last kicker. So she's top last. I know it's not the top belt, or no, I guess Rhea's top last if we're talking lasses. So you see what I mean? It's hard. It's hard to say like this one is because they're both good on the mic. They're both great in the ring. They both want different things. They both approach their goals differently and effectively. So it's tough, but they're two of the top, and then Charlotte and Lexi are probably the other two. So they got like four top dogs that can all talk on the mic and can all wrestle. But she gets the win, Becky. This really just helps establish the Intercontinental title more than anything else. Simple, easy victory for her. Nobody, if you were betting on DraftKings, you already knew who was going to win, and the odds, you were betting $1 to win a penny. That's how easy that one was to predict. And once we identify who that next contender is, then we get into our predictions and all that good stuff. That sometimes you don't always have to take down the champ to get made. You can still get made because your match is so good and your mic works so good. Sometimes you need a belt to get over, and that's when they write the story for Becky to drop the title. So it all just depends on the talent coming up. Let's move on to SmackDown, baby. The show opened up, and Solo Sikoa came out, and he was like, yo, what's up, everybody? I'm freaking Solo Sikoa, and you hate me. And the whole crowd goes, yeah, we hate you. He's like, I got the gold. I got the MFTs. This city sucks, and you hate me. And they're like, yeah, that's right, we hate you. And then all of a sudden, here comes Sammy. And he comes out, and he says, okay, can we talk? And Solo and all the MFTs are like, yeah, come in here, dude. We'll bust your ass. And he's like, come on, man. Tell these big mother truckers to get out of the ring, and let's just chat. I want to have a chat, dude. I'm not even trying to fight. And Solo's like, yeah, all right, fine. You all get out of here. Let me talk to this little dude, and I'm going to smash him, hit him with the Samoan spike. No, he didn't do that. They're going to talk. And Sammy thanks Solo Sikoa for freeing him from his world title aspirations. And he says, I don't want it anymore. I don't need it anymore. I just want to be the best I can be. And I want to find what motivates me. Those are the matches I want to be in. And it's not the world title anymore because you, Solo, you big son of a bitch. He didn't say that. He doesn't curse. He's a good boy. And he says, you motivated me. Not only do I want to take that title, I want to bust your ass and take away everything that's important to you the way you took away everything that was important to me. And then we're going to have something in common. We might even be bros after I kick your ass. And Solo's not having that. He's like, bro, you're not even on this show, man. So go back to Raw. I don't want to ever see your punk ass again. And Sammy says, oh, contraire, mon frère. That's because he speaks French, probably, because he's from Montreal, Quebec. I don't know what contraire, mon frère means, except I think it means like, on the contrary, my friend. I think that's what it means. But I never took French in high school, so my bad if I messed it up to my French brothers and sisters. But he says, no, dude, I talked to the man, Nick Aldis, and Adam Pearce. And since I'm such a good guy, I'm not an a-hole like you. When I ask for a meeting, they take it and they listen to me. And now I'm on the blue brand. I'm on SmackDown and I'm wrestling you for that U.S. championship. And Solo's super pissed. Instantly, Sami Zayn becomes everyone on SmackDown's favorite wrestler because that's how over he is and that's how easy it is to write a babyface storyline for Sami Zayn over the last 4 years since he got his ass whooped by the bloodline for so long until they were like, no, all right, you can hang with us. And then he was the little dog with the big bite after that. So he goes over there. He becomes the lead babyface, especially while Cody is out of commission and recovering from his match and all that good stuff. But Cody will be the man when he comes back. But as far as the people's champion or the people's favorite, I think that'll be Sami Zayn. I mean, he has the personality for it. They love the way he wrestles. He's got one hell of a finish. So yeah, we get all that. What else? The MFTs. That's going to cause a bunch of hell, but Sammy's got his own boys. Oh, this all built into a match, by the way, with Sami Zayn, Jimmy Uso, and Jacob Fatu coming out to get his back against Solo and the MFTs. That was going to be the main event for that night. The question is, and this was posed by our awesome producer, Alex, do we really think that Sammy has a legit chance at a world title? Or is the U.S. title, the IC title, is that kind of where he's going to live in the mid-card? I've said this for a long time. I think he's going to be a world champion. I think it's just a matter of time, barring injury. He's really good on the mic. He's incredibly relatable as a human being. He's easy to root for. He's John McClane, but Canadian, right? John McClane, for those of you who don't know, was the lead guy in Die Hard, all the Die Hard movies. He was played by Bruce Willis. And he played this blue-collar, working-class New York cop who's fair but firm. And his superpower is he doesn't have a superpower. He's tough. He can take more of an ass kicking than you at the end of the day. You might hit harder, but he'll do more damage to you before you do it to him. You can't hurt him more than he can hurt you. You could punch him 10 times for every one time he hits, but eventually you're going to fall down and not get up. And he's the kind of guy that always gets up. That's Sami Zayn. He's the French-Canadian John McClane. Oui. And that's why we love him, because we all believe that if, a dude like Sammy can do it, we can do it. He's relatable. I said that already. You get what I'm saying. We got Alexa Bliss, who has successfully done what the WWE has not been able to do, which is help turn Charlotte babyface. So kudos to Alexa Bliss. Now Charlotte's getting love, and you deserve a chance. Perfect timing for her to turn on Lexi and put it back in the crowd's face and be like, nope, screw you, I'm a heel again. I don't think they're going to do that. I think if anyone turns eventually, it'll be Alexa on Charlotte. She had a match against Piper Niven, and the Secret Hervis came in at the end of the match. Alexa Bliss got the win, beat her ass. I feel like the Secret Hervis, it's tricky, man, because Chelsea's what makes the boat go down the river, right? Chelsea Green makes the boat go. And I think it's hard because what they're playing is so fictional that you have to suspend your disbelief to be like, yeah, all right, they're taking this security service seriously, and they're professional wrestlers wrestling in matches too. So that's where the disconnect is, right? So you got to kind of give it some creative latitude if you want to accept this storyline. And if you do, then you see that Chelsea makes the boat go. So she needs to be more involved or fully involved in all these segments, I feel like, in order to make them truly work. You could tell Chelsea is game for whatever, and she commits 100%. And if you see the people committing 100%, I think it's easier for us to commit 100% too. And now we get to my favorite promo of the week. That's right, even better than Hangman and MJF's. because I've seen that promo once before. And I've seen this before too, but Drew does it in a unique way. We're talking about Drew McIntyre. And he came out and he defended himself. He said, yo, whoa. I didn't attack Cody. I didn't attack Cody. Cody attacked me. And he's right. He didn't show doctored footage. He showed actual footage. The match was over. Cody Rhodes smashed his head because he was still, hyped up from the match, smashed his head in a turnbuckle and was getting ready to do more damage to him before the tables were turned and his head got kicked into the bottom of the table. So I'm kind of, even though Drew's the a-hole, I'm kind of with Drew on this one. Not kind of. I mean, he's right. He's just being a jerk about it and rubbing everyone's face in it. And we love Cody, so we're like, no, F you, Drew. But, if you don't swing first, it's kind of on the other dude. And I think I know I like Dirty Dom too, and you guys all boo him, but maybe I just like the bad guys, but I'm totally with Drew on this. Not totally. I think he went a little too far. He could have given him, a body slam or something instead of a concussion. But yeah, his sort of heel justification, which this is his MO, right? Is he's always the wronged party. He would still be world champion and wouldn't have lost a match. It's just somebody's always wronging him. The ref's wronging him. There's interference that's wronging him. Management's wronging him. Somebody's always wronging him. Not this show, Drew. This show, when Jeff's not here, has your back. But when Jeff is here, it's, it's just chaos. It's just chaos. Anyway, Drew versus Cody will be awesome. I used to say that Cody was going to have this like John Cena type run, but even John Cena lost the title a few times to Randy Orton. Otherwise, Randy Orton wouldn't have 14 world championships, something like that. So I don't know. Yeah, we're not going to do our picks just yet, but I wouldn't be so quick to just say, hey, Cody's got the dub. Let's see what the odds are. Let's see what the numbers are. It might be a nice money bet to go on Drew McIntyre and watch them shake shit up a little bit. The main event was Sami Zayn, Jimmy Uso, Jacob Fatu versus the MFTs. And Sami Zayn gets the pin on Solo Sikoa, which makes me think he's not going to get the win when they wrestle for the championship. And somebody's going to do something shady, interfere in his match, and cost him the victory. And then he's going to have to climb the mountain a little longer in order to get it, which means I don't think Jacob Fatu is going to be in the U.S. title picture anymore. And that means they've got something bigger planned for him. Maybe a Royal Rumble victory for Jacob Fatu. Big-ass dude who could just throw everybody out of the ring, clothesline everybody out of the ring, super kick everybody out of the ring. He could do backflips into the ring. Could be bigger and better things. Because he didn't lose the title because he sucks. That wasn't the reason why. People seem to really dig him. And he's even embracing Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn's going to be the one on the title run, so he's embracing his opportunity at the U.S. title. I don't know. Bigger and better things for Jacob Fatu. AEW Dynamite. All right, so first off, Tony Khan, who's responds to criticism a lot more than I would like to see him respond to criticism. I don't think there's a need from a creative perspective to apologize for your art, unless your art was meant to be offensive. And you may say, well, I'm offended by his style of wrestling. Okay, that's the punchline you want, that's fine. But he's just trying to make art. He's just trying to make cool wrestling, the kind of wrestling he likes, and tell the stories that he likes to tell. But he said he was responding to people saying, and we've questioned and criticized some of the storytelling on AEW, but when they tell stories, I don't say that they're bad. If I like them, I talk about them. What we say is there's not enough and it's not consistent enough. His response was, we tell our stories, but we tell them in the ring. And on that note, he's 100% correct. I think their wrestlers tell awesome stories in the ring. My thing is always, I just want to have a cool reason why. Why are they telling this awesome story in the ring? Because the wrestlers are top shelf, man, from top to bottom. They're all top. There is no bottom. They got top shelf dudes that can really move, that put their body at risk every single week and somehow continue to do it every single week. And I respect that and I appreciate that. It's the reason why. And when they have a good reason why, I talk about it, Jeff talks about it, everybody talks about it because it's tons of fun. And we're going to get into a couple of those stories right freaking now. So A-Dub, love you. WWE, love you. And if that makes any of you guys upset, sorry, you got to just deal. All right, here we go. Hangman Page and MJF face-to-face. Here's what happened, people. MJF hit him with the Seabiscuit, forgetting once again that Seabiscuit won the race. MJF should have watched the movie. Anyway, Hangman called him a coward. He said, "You think I don't know what you're trying to do, bro? You think you're gonna goad me into just offering you a championship so you don't have to use your contract? Stupid. That's how my cousin would say it in New York. Stupid. What are you, stupid?" Anyway, MJF has been goaded into this type of response before. When Will Ospreay was on the scene and they had their run, and Ospreay got in his face, and MJF, he kind of challenged MJF's guts, and MJF was like, "Well, they used to cheer for me before you got here." And that's how you break him, right? You kind of insult him the way he's insulting you, and you match that energy, right? And you don't let him know that it's hurting you. Like, you don't let it affect you. You just give it right back to him. Will Ospreay did it. Hangman did it. And he tricked MJF into it once again. And he goes, "Oh, yeah, well, I will cash in my contract. Forbidden Door in your face. What? Oh, shit, what did I do?" And now he knows he's effed. He wasted his contract. And Hangman's got him, called him a dumbass, and walked out of the ring. Good promo between the two. Not my promo of the week. That was Drew. And my segment of the week was, actually, I think I said it was Sammy earlier, but I think, or CM and LA Knight, but I think it was Drew. Drew was the segment of the week, or the promo of the week. So anyway, we got our main event, MJF, the Devil, versus the flawed babyface Adam Hangman Page. MJF brought up a bunch of, like, I don't know if it was real, but like personal stuff. I don't know much about Hangman Page's past, but he brought up like alcoholism and shit like that, which humanizes Hangman and makes him even more of a babyface based on his response. He's like, "Yo, man, I know I've effed up and I'm not perfect, but here I am, bro. I'm vulnerable and I'm the champion and you can suck it." And MJF wasn't having any of that, and then he got talked into the match. But it was really good promo. Both guys kicked butt. Gets me excited to see the match. Next up, we got Jon Moxley versus Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight can fly. The dude has standing jump kicks that are like above people's heads with no momentum whatsoever. But he wasn't beating my man Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley got him. Technical submission. I think he choked him out. Yeah, he choked him out. Here's the most important thing. They start beating the crap out of Knight, and all of a sudden, here comes Darby Allin. Darby Allin's been starting beef with the Death Riders. That's Moxley and, well, you guys know who the Death Riders are. Moxley, Claudio, Wheeler, and Marina, right? Who, by the way, has gotten a lot better. Darby Allin's got beef with him. He comes out, he makes a save. He comes out with a skateboard and a body bag, tries to pull Wheeler Yuta in the body bag, gets him in there. This was a tough gimmick because if you don't know where the zipper is, you struggle, and that happened in this segment. But they still, I thought, powered through. Jeff would have loved it because there were so many gimmicks in the match. He would have been like, "This is my match of the week. Oh, my God." So then Darby gets Wheeler in there, and he's going to beat him up and coffin drop him. And Claudio's like, "Nope, got you." Boom. Gets Wheeler out and puts Darby in there, beats up Darby in the body bag. Will Ospreay comes out. He's like, "Oh, we thought he was hurt, but he's not hurt. Yay." And he's like, "Oh, I'm still hurt a bit, but I'm going to fight anyway." And he comes out and chases everybody out. And he challenges Mox to a lights-out steel cage match, which prompted me to text my wrestling chain and say, "Hey, what is a lights-out steel cage match?" The response was, it's a no-holds-barred steel cage match, which I thought all steel cage matches were, but I digress. Anyway, it's a Forbidden Door. It's just forbidden, so none of you guys can watch it. That's on Sunday at 10 a.m. on the West Coast. What is that, 1 p.m. on the East Coast? So be there or be square. Look, neck injuries don't get better that quick, so everybody, if you believe in gods, pray to your God. And pray that he protects Mr. Ospreay. You probably won't see too much crazy stuff. I hope you don't. There's enough wrestlers in the match that in the main event that they put. I'll give you the names in a second. That you can really protect him, and he can just maybe go in once or twice and not take too much of a beating. Because I don't want to see. I want to see him in 30-minute matches. And I want his body to hold up. So hopefully he's all good. Although with Seth Rollins faking his knee injury. Maybe, it's an ankle and he's just saying it's his neck because that was what he was selling in a match. Like, you never know anymore, which is kind of cool. Will Ospreay, Darby Allin, Tanahashi, Omega, and Ibushi versus Mox, Claudio, Gabe Kidd, and the Young. Oh, I should say it the way they do. And these two guys in this tag called the Young Bucks or something like that. The names are like Nate and Mick. Yeah, but they're real good. See, we're doing it in character. I should have put my glasses back on. Anyway, is that the pay-per-view stealer? I don't think so. I think the stealer's going to be Nigel versus Zack Sabre. That's going to steal the show. But I like me some submissions. Anyway, Adam Copeland defeated Stokely Hathaway in a match where a lot of people were nervous for Mr. Copeland. They didn't know. He's getting older. He's getting up there. Stokely's no joke. You didn't know what was going to happen, with Stokely's size and speed, his agility, the side-to-side quickness, the raw power, the brute strength. A lot of people were nervous, but he barely eked out a win, you guys. He barely did. He took 2 spears from Stokely. Stokely hit him so hard that Stokely, I think, might have hurt his own shoulder. The ladies weren't feeling Stokely, though. They weren't going to give him any love. Copeland kind of threw it in his face. Not very nice. But he eked out a win. No, Stokely got the shit kicked out of him. The spear was amazing. Hurting himself and bouncing off him was awesome. Shout out to Stokely for taking a whooping and for having no girls that night. Sorry, dude. Lonely. Team Lonely Heart. That's the team Stokely's on. Team Lonely Heart. Anyway, FTR came out. They weren't supposed to. There's a restraining order in place, but they said F it. All of a sudden, there's a fight everywhere. He's going to get beat up. Christian Cage comes out, the patriarch, and he comes out and he saves Adam, and then later Adam saves Christian, and then they look at each other, and Copeland gives him a big hug. I didn't say Edge once, by the way. That's pretty professional, I might say. Gives Christian a big old hug, and Christian doesn't reciprocate. He's still thinking about it, but he's not going to let these a-holes, Nick Wayne and Kip and FTR, he's not going to let these a-holes all go after him. But it gives us a little tease. Wait a minute. These two could go on a tag team run if they could get on the same page. And a tag team of Christian and Adam Copeland eventually leads to a TLC match, which, of course, would have to be against FTR. And we'll get into how that'll happen later. All right. Well, we'll get into it on the Thursday show because we're running out of time over here. What? That wasn't long enough. I'm sorry, but it's true. But we're going to talk Forbidden Door and what's going to happen there, how some of these AEW stories are going to bleed into that. See that? AEW stories. You thought I wouldn't say it, and I did. Check out Forbidden Door. It's Sunday, August 24th, this year, not next year, this year, at the O2 Arena in London, England. You guys, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. Tune in tomorrow. Tune in every week. Jeff will be back next week. I hope. Until then, peace.